Tonight, I'm making stir fry. It's just that kind of night. All those beautiful vegetables. I love a good stir fry, and that's what we're having. Thank you guys for joining us. We are the Mullet family. We appreciate all of you, and we love reading your comments. For the hundreds and sometimes thousands of people that go through our channel, to the few of you that stopped and left a comment, I want to thank you. I appreciate you. Stay tuned to the end of this video when Marvin and I go through your comments. Our family loves stir fry. And who needs a recipe when you're making stir fry? You put in what you like. Here I'm dicing up some good old bacon. And then I put in lots of onions because I love the flavor of onions in my stir fry. This stir fry smelled absolutely delicious. I added some salt and pepper to taste and let it simmer until the bacon was fully cooked. The vegetables I used for this stir fry were pre-cut and packaged.
Some of you who might not be familiar with chickens, the rooster keeps the peace. When he finds something, he'll often start making a clucking noise. And when he makes that certain noise, the hens will come running. So let's see if they do this. Like if you watch, all the hens are just kind of scattered around. They're looking. Now watch this. When he starts making that noise, they're all going to come running. Trying to get him to eat out of the hand. Well, there he goes. Some of you who've watched our channel for the past year, most of these are chicks that we hatched out a year ago. Started hatching them in January and February. They're laying very well. We're getting 16, 17, 18, sometimes 20 eggs a day. As you can see, there's a bunch of eggs back here. About half of the ones we hatched out were roosters. We have consumed most of them, but this is a really handsome guy that I decided I'm going to keep. And they're really tame. Like very, very docile. Also goes with how they are raised, but it has a lot to do with the breed of chicken. Some of the leghorns, the true blues, they're a smaller chicken. You get more egg per feed ratio, but they're a really flighty bird. I mean, the smallest noise will just make them go ballistic and flying and squawking. I like a calmer chicken. Something that's tame, you can walk up to it and they're not afraid of you. Yeah, this is a big guy. Here in the next day or two, we're going to be starting another batch with the incubator. Decided that the first batch I do this year, I'm going to do all the green eggs. That look like this. They look the same on the inside color-wise. They taste the same. They're just kind of unique. I've got eggs in here. When I come out throughout the day or come home from work and I check them, I usually just take them out of the lay boxes and put them in here so that they don't break them. Because if they have so many eggs in there, the hens go in there and when they're going in there to lay, they ended up breaking them. Well, when they break them, they eat them and they start to learn to eat their own eggs. So trying to avoid that at all costs. This is 2 days worth of eggs right here. Again, this is going to bring my count up to 21. So it'll be tomorrow before I have enough eggs to put into the incubator. I need 22. And as you can see, we've got some bunnies too that are just hopping around in here. And they're usually pretty tame too. Just, they don't like to be picked up. Thing about rabbits is they like to find places to go in and hide. Today is the day we put the eggs in the incubator. I'm still learning. It's not quite as cut and dried as I thought it was when I got the incubator. There's a lot of variables that can play into the hatch ratio. A few of the things that play into the hatch ratio and how long it takes them to hatch is, are you gathering the eggs and putting them straight into the incubator? Do the eggs ever cool down, like the body heat from the hen? If they go from basically the chicken to the incubator, they'll hatch in 21 days, 20 and a half to 21. If you gather them over a few days and they get cooled down to room temperature, it'll take 22 and a half, almost 23 days sometimes. It takes a full day for that egg to get up to temperature and actually start incubating. These eggs I gathered over a span of 4 days. Like I said, decided we're going to do the green ones. There's a lot of conflicting information. There's a lot of conflicting opinions on the internet. A lot of people that will hatch say you never wash your eggs. I've tried both ways. So basically what they're saying, the egg has a protective shell on it. And if you wash that off, bacteria will get in there. Well, guess what? All the big hatcheries, they wash them with a bleach solution to totally disinfect them. I've done both ways, where I've not washed the eggs, where I've washed them. And I've had higher success ratios of hatching if I've washed them with like a 1 in 10 bleach detergent. To ensure that all the eggs are turning properly in the turner, I'm going to mark them. Actually, I'm going to number them. Sometimes if you have a large size egg, they can kind of get wedged and they don't roll. It's pretty important that they turn. So here we go. There is egg number 1. And I always put them in the wide part to the back, the skinny part to the front. This one is all. So here we are again, back to the comments. I got a chuckle out of some of the comments, which I was pretty sure I knew why Mary's sourdough it was hit or miss and wasn't turning out the way she'd hoped. When you dump some of this and dump some of that, some of those things, you gotta be absolutely precise down to the nitty gritty. And yeah, so anyway, Neil Monroe 668 from the Scottish Highlands. Wow. Yeah. Goes into detail how measuring, weighing everything, very important. So you might need to slow down a little bit, and get the measuring.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And get rid of your Three Stooges style where you just start dumping stuff in. Not that Mary ever watches the Three Stooges, but. And also Carolyn Bontrager mentioned, getting a scale, measuring it down to the grams, and sounds like a good idea. Which, amazingly, Mary did get a digital scales, which is really, really accurate. So we're expecting better luck, better consistent with sourdough. Looking through the comments, I didn't even realize who this was until I read the comment and looked back, and the initials are like, oh yeah, JEB Transport, the initials for their name. That's my cousin Elnora and her husband. So Elnora's mom would be my aunt. Thanks for sharing about the funeral. Heaven truly gained a rose. Now our mothers are united once again, waiting on us. Yeah, so it's quite a thing, when I was little, I'd go to funerals and think, well, I'm never going to see him again. But then you'll get older and you realize that, and the time is getting closer to when we'll see him again in heaven. So, and something really, really special about Aunt Savannah. She had the gift of just making everyone feel super loved and important. Probably because she took time to listen and cared about people. I think she was just about everyone's favorite aunt. She always had just a very kind word, just a sweet, sweet aunt. Here's a response from Tara Surrey. Sorry, I apologize about. Sorry to say my sourdough bread making skills are very hit or miss, so I can't help much. Hey, you're not alone. She's good at making pizza. Looks very beautiful back in Michigan. Yes, it's really reminded me of the area I grew up in, the agriculture and everything. Just really, really brought back a lot of memories. Pam Boone. Hi, Marvin and Mary. I can honestly say I've never been able to make sourdough anything work. I'm so over it not trying it again. So good luck. I know you can do it.
I know the feeling. I've been there. Yep.
She also commented on the cabinets. So yeah, when we moved in here, the cabinets were like a dark oak, and Mary loves bright white colors, light colors. So ended up getting those painted white.
Well, I'm rethinking it though, because with 4 boys in the house and me always in the kitchen, they just don't stay clean. So I'm definitely rethinking my white cabinets.
Yeah. Lavina Sworey. I've never been to Bayonne, Michigan, but my in-laws lived in Roseville, Michigan quite a few years. My husband moved out there with them for 1.5 years and came back to Pennsylvania and got a car. Years later, they came back also, and Dad got a car at 75 years old. Wow. Starting driving at 75 that's quite an ordeal.
From Lisa Lott Mosier. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You wrote, hello Mullet family, my name is Lisa Lott and I'm from Switzerland. I'll send you one of my favorite recipes. It's called Rosti. It's made from steamed potatoes. Peel first the potatoes and grate them with coarse grater. Add small pieces of bacon in a frying pan and also butter, then add potatoes and salt to the pan. Fry them until golden brown. That sounds really, really delicious.
Hey, here we have another one about the sourdough. Verda, vertibird. I think the first name, another response on the sourdough, I think the first name is Verda. I can't quite pronounce the last name. I have the best of luck with my sourdough if I add water or milk and sourdough first. Stir gently with a wooden spoon, slowly add flour and a little bit of olive oil. I let mine rise in the oven with the light on half an hour, then gently fold in 1 teaspoon salt. Fold in the salt and let it rise one more half hour. Then I put it on the cast iron bread pan till double. Then I bake mine. I don't use a scale weight either. Keep on, you will master the sourdough. So, okay.
There you have it.
So you could keep
There's
winging
someone
it
on my
and
side.
yeah, keep winging it or start using the scales.
I really like Neil's comment. I really like your comment, Neil. You said you're from Inverness, Scottish Highlands. Now, I went online and tried to see where Inverness, Scottish Highlands are, and it looks like an absolute beautiful place. I've never been to Scotland.
Yeah, pretty amazing era we're in. Somebody can comment where they're at, and we can go online and kind of see what the terrain looks like.
Yeah.
Even 20 years ago, that would have been, yeah, it's just a faraway place, and the guy could only imagine. I've had some interesting things happen. Somebody out of state said they got a wedding invitation, and so I went online, typed in the address, and looked it up. Like, okay, so are you the house with like this house and this many sheds and silos? And they're like, how do you know that? Well, they're Amish people, so they don't have internet. So, yeah, I just looked it up on the internet. Just want to make sure that the GPS takes me to the correct place. Most of the Amish are pretty tech savvy. They've been around enough, they know what it does, but occasionally cross paths with someone who's they're not up to par on what the phone can do. It's amazing. But yeah, a day and age of Google Maps is pretty amazing. Concerning the chickens, was thinking that this might be a year that I'm not going to hatch, but it's getting, late winter, middle of February, and the incubator's sitting there, and just decided we're going to hatch out at least 1 or 2 batches. So just got those started today. In about 3 weeks, we should have little chicks.
Yeah, so stay tuned for our upcoming videos, and we will keep you posted.
Yeah, other things that's going to be happening, clearing out more trees, building a little barn. Been lots and lots of work to do outside. I have been busy enough to the point where I'm not really getting as much done in the house as I thought that I would, but hey, it's good to have work.
Yes. And we want to thank all those who emailed us and left a comment. We thank every one of you. We read them. Unfortunately, though, with so many comments and emails, we won't be able to go through every one of them. It just takes too much time, but we read them and love going through them.
Yeah.
And we wish you the best this coming week. And goodbye till next time.